What's shaking, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Jennifer Rush and the excellent album Heart Over Mine, 1987. Once again, big shout out to Darren for providing the Jennifer Rush material and all those who've been commenting. And the next track is Heart Wars, which sounds very dramatic. It sounds explosive, it sounds like conflict. Certainly wars can be less than physical, but even then, they are, I feel, necessarily adversarial or otherwise at odds. Nevertheless, if your heart is at war with itself or with your mind, I feel like it would fit very naturally into the pervasive themes of the album, which have been very well represented in the simple yet incredibly meaningful record title. So yes, ultimately this feels like we're going to be back in that realm of conflicted emotions. Now whether those are internally conflicted or externally conflicted remains to be seen. Obviously it could function on both levels, but yes, to combine heart, which often relates to emotion and feeling, as well as, I suppose, the circulation of oxygen around a body, which could itself be a metaphor. But yes, when you juxtapose that with wars, you are inherently speaking to two concepts which in many ways would normally be set apart from each other, but because of the way we sapient and psycho-emotional beings exist, they are often coming together in the ways in which we have conflicts and difficult feelings and problematic relationships. So it seems very par for the course for the album overall. Let's give it a listen. This is Jennifer Rush. The track is Heart Wars, and it's from her 1987 album Heart Over Mind. Oh, vocal flurry.
People fighting like nations. Is this the state of all human relations?
Oh, shit.
Words are our weapons. Take aim and fire. Love loses reason in the name of desire. Onwards, I surrender. Let's let some sunshine steal all the thunder. We've been chased 'cause it's dragging us under. Onwards, I surrender to love. How can two people call themselves lovers, giving and taking abuse from each other? This situation needs rearranging. How can we love when we waste our lives waiting? Onwards, I surrender. Let's let some sunshine steal all the thunder. We've been chased 'cause it's dragging us under. Onwards,
Asunder.
I surrender to love. I surrender to love. I surrender to love. We stand alone with our pride and protection. We
could use about 2 more minutes of this tune. Holy shit. And like Jennifer, she's there for it. Oh my god, that feels like a radio cut or something. How long? That couldn't have been more than like 3.5 minutes. Not even that, just over 3. Well, my only complaint is that it wasn't long enough, but what an awesome tune. I do think I misheard a line. I thought it was asunder at first, but I think it was us under. Nevertheless, it is using phraseology of military wars, including surrender, as an analog for our emotional lives, but it's also making a statement about the human condition, about what it is to be a human, a psycho-emotional being, trying to operate logically, but doing behaviors and evincing attitudes that run counter to that, that militate against that, and perhaps in the process making a statement about the nature of humans on a global scale and why we are so contradictory, why we always find ourselves in conflicts of nations. Because even on the smaller scale, and even in situations where there are 2 lovers together, there's quarreling, there's fighting, and to be intimate, to be close, is to open yourself up to greater levels of hurt, and to perhaps know what pushes the buttons of the other person more than a stranger would, and therefore it's part of that internal tension of our deepest emotions to be capable of great love and passion, but also the flip side of that, the underbelly of that, which is hurt and anger and betrayal and jealousy and conflict. And so it feels like it's fundamentally about the difficulties of being in an emotional relationship, but as I said, it feels like it's making larger points through a figurative or metaphorical understanding of that emotional dynamic. And it also seems to be saying that it's positive, and in that she's saying, can't we just let the sunshine in and drown out the thunder just for a moment? Can we stop criticizing each other? Can we stop making each other feel bad and putting each other through pain and torment? Because fundamentally, we should be making each other feel warm and good and accepted and in love. So she's making a plea, and she's saying, for my part, I'm willing to lay down arms. I'm willing to come to the negotiating table and find a mutually agreeable solution. So can't you do that too? Can't we be what we're supposed to be? Which again, if you extrapolate that up to the human level, we're all one species. We share a common origin. We share similarities across cultures and societies, and despite severe differences among those societies and within them, we do share characteristics and traits which should allow us to come to a better emotional understanding and rapprochement. So I feel like the song is not only very cleverly written, but then you get her vocals, starting with that wicked flare right at the beginning, a bit of a like melodic flourish and vocalization. We get some really long extensions, and by the end she's just going even higher and flourishing with bravado, with power, to the point where it's like, wait, who is fading this? What producer is making the decision to fade this track right now? You know, go do a bunch of push-ups as penance or something. I feel like there should be an extended version of this tune. Ultimately, as I said, not only are her vocals really indicative of the level of emotional power that the song speaks to, but we have this dynamic, I suppose it's faster than what you would normally mean by a power ballad, but it has the emotion in power ballads, and it feels like it's, again, got that dynamic 80s synth pop type of sound, but with a bit of a cinematic scope. I don't know if that's the right phrase, but there's like a drama to the tune that feels like it could be part of a musical, is I guess what I'm saying. So a really top track, absolutely love that one. I'm loving this album, and while I've enjoyed her previous albums, I do feel like this one has gone to a higher level than either of the previous ones. So top tune. Once again, shout out to Darren. Let me know what you think of this one, and I will see you next time. Peace.